Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Sorry, a little bit late. My Zoom was doing all the updates. Gotta love technology and all the things. It happens at all the right moments when we need it to. But so glad to see everyone. Getting a good group coming in here so far, letting a few more people in. Awesome. Well, we have a very exciting session today. Wanted to highlight a few things. If you've been around Lady Titans for a while, you know that we are all about empowering women in the trades. And so, one of the ways we do that is through our leading ladies. And so, wanted to shout out and spotlight our leading lady for December. So, Miss Patricia White, she was nominated, and we selected her to be our leading lady. So she is the office manager at Over the Moon, and is our Lady Titans leading lady. She is in an industry where women continue to pave new paths. Patricia is a shining example of what it means to lead with heart, purpose, and resilience. She was nominated by Bree, and she stands out for her unwavering dedication to her team, her passion for creating smooth and efficient processes, and her incredible knack for problem solving. Bree shared that Patricia's passion and drive for trades and customer service show every single day. She's process driven, ensuring not only customers, but also team members succeed. She's an advocate for her team, always ready to support both in the office and in the field. Patricia's energy and guidance inspire others to show up and thrive. So, Patricia, you're not just managing operations, you're managing inspiration, and your commitment to excellence and your ability to uplift others embody everything the Leading Lady series represents. So, shout out to Patricia. Thank you guys for nominating her. It's always great to hear success stories and show love and support to other women in the trade. So if you have a leading lady that you would like to nominate, I'm going to drop a link here down in the chat in just a little bit. Or Lauren beat me to it. Thank you, Lauren. Thanks for doing that. But then another leading lady, our guest speaker today, Miss Jazmin Ramirez. She is a phenomenal speaker, part of an amazing, very innovative organization. And so Jazmin is our speaker today, and she is a trailblazer in the digital marketing agents in the digital marketing world with a rare and powerful combination of hands-on industry experience and cutting-edge marketing expertise. Before stepping into the digital realm, Jazmin honed her skills as an operations manager for an HVAC company and an office manager for a plumbing company. This boots on the ground experience gave her unparalleled understanding of the inner workings of the trades industry, equipping her to identify and address unique challenges that contractors and service businesses face. Today, she's the Senior Director of Strategic Partnerships at CI Web Group. Jazmin combines her deep understanding of the trades industry with cutting-edge digital marketing expertise. She specializes in creating tailored strategies that help HVAC, plumbing, and other trade professionals optimize their online presence, enhance customer engagement, and drive measurable growth. So Jazmin has a fantastic presentation for us today about being innovative, what we can kind of expect for 2025, how we're going to take it to the next level. And I know she's just a wealth of knowledge that you guys are going to get so much from. So Jazmin, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys for so much for having me. So I'm going to do my presentation. I put everything together in Canva so you guys can have all of the documents afterwards. So when I share my screen, it's going to look a little funky while I get into presentation mode. But thank you for the introduction. Can you guys all hear me good? I just got a new mic too, so I want to make sure. Perfect. So as I dive into this, let me know. You guys can stop me if you have any questions, if there's anything that you guys want to go through, and you're seeing my presentation, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So we're going to talk about how to really use AI. That is the big driving factor going into 2025. We kind of all see it with call centers. We see it with websites. We see it with everything. I'm really going to focus on that and the AI technologies that are out there and what we see shifting in the market. So coming from an HVAC background, a plumbing background, all of that fun stuff, I really get to hone in on digital for the trades, which I think is really unique to what makes me very successful in what I'm doing. So as I dive into it, I'll give a little tidbit about me. The whole thing, Emily, thank you for that. But I'm also a mom, I'm a wife, and I am a big book reader. So I have a lot of my career side, but I actually am a mother. I have 5 beautiful children, and my lovely husband is an HVAC technician for our local group over here. He's been there for about 15 years, so I never get away from it. It's something that I have really embedded into me and my personality, so that's fun and great. But I do hone in a lot of the technology when it comes to CI Web Group and what we do with our partners. So 2024, what did you guys notice? It was very different than we saw in 2020, 2021, 2022. What did you guys notice that was the biggest driving factor for the end of this quarter? And if you guys want to use the chat, you can. If not, I'm going to dive into my stuff, whatever works for you. But I will
All
say,
those pictures there were all big things in 2024.
yes, they were huge in 2024. It was an election year. We always know in election years, people kind of hone in on their wallets. They don't want to spend any money. We know that as we go into an election year, shoulder seasons tends to be a little bit more, and we have to plan for that. But I think the biggest thing that came in was technology. So when it comes to marketing, we need to make sure that we're planning 6 months, 12 months in advance of our shoulder season of an election year, but we also need to do that with a big major technology shift. So when the entire population is kind of moving to one new technology, which we saw with chat, you need to evolve with it. So I don't know, I'm not that old. I don't know if you guys know when Facebook used to be really cool. Facebook was really cool. And then we got TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat. And we saw an entire population of humans leave Facebook, move to these new technologies, and then said Facebook isn't for the cool kids anymore. That was a big transformity. That's something that we kind of all see now. Facebook's really used for family pictures, growing businesses, networking, and you go to TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram for that social aspect of it. Now, when these shifts happen and new technology emerges and the entire population moves from one platform to the next platform, how do we prepare for that? We have to prepare very quickly. And in the past, we've seen that it's been like this shorter shift. But with the new population, with homeowners kind of going back into that younger generation, we have generations that are younger. They're becoming homeowners. They're the ones that are really utilizing our technology, our websites, and searching for us. And each year, as this platform changes, and I call them children, but the homeowners that come in, they're getting younger and younger. And they're evolving and they're changing. And the way that they're looking for the things and the way that they're looking for people to come into their homes changes with the technology that they're using. Now, how many of you guys are familiar with ChatGPT? How many of you guys are using ChatGPT? With ChatGPT and if you guys aren't using it, we're going to this should start to play this video. I'm going to let it play through. It's going to build out an entire social calendar in a matter of minutes. So when we're talking and we're coming out of this presentation, the one thing I want you guys to take in, if you're not using it, if you're using it, is to go back into your office, sign up for the $25 a month. It's $25 a month for chat. Go into there and really get the business account. Set up an account for your guys' customers. For your guys' employees, not your customers. Set up an account for your guys' employees, a corporate account. Go in and use it. And the reason you want to use it is because it can build out job applications. It can build out your SOPs. You guys can build out every single document in there. Now, we know that there's a range of different chats out there. We have Perplexity, Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini. All of these different AI platforms serve a role and a purpose for the end user. Everything's a little bit different. Perplexity, they're really good at selling, like Amazon. If you're using a platform like that, you type it in, I go to Perplexity and it will bring up an Amazon cart and tell me that I want this. I don't want it, but it's telling me I do. So I end up buying it sometimes. It's really trying to drive that influence with you. Chat, it's really good because it has a platform in the back end that you can get an AI model to learn your business. So AI is not going to replace humans. It can't, but it can help grow a human to be more efficient. You can turn your humans to being about 1 to 2 minutes working on this to using AI to do 50 things at once. It's just how you're making that learning model work. So everything you've done in your business to this point, it takes a lot of time. Writing job descriptions. How much time does that take? I feel like it takes months, depending on how many roles you guys have. Having SOPs, standard operating procedures for your business, that takes a long time. When I was the operations manager, I used to have to go through and job cost every single job, get the receipts, put it into the system, go through that. It took me an entire day to get these done, depending on how many installs we had. That was a lot of work. If I were able to throw that into chat and have it do all the costing for me, that'd be phenomenal. How many of you guys have all of your job descriptions done right now for every single role you have? Do you know how great that would be to have every job description done in a matter of one day and then add those to your website for people to find you, to get jobs with you, to look for you? How many of you guys have your 2025 strategic plan completed? And this is for any business, even CI Web Group. We just got it done through chat.
We had to analyze our budget, kind of, hey, here's what we're projecting to do versus over last year, like where are some key differences and things like that. And it can shoot out some insightful things that sometimes you don't always realize, or when you're looking at all those numbers and grids, you're like, I can't find the one little magic thing, but it can identify it for you sometimes.
Exactly. Your mission, your vision, your strategy, your go-to-market, your story, everything. With this too, a lot of people look at chat, or they look to their marketing agency, or they look to the people inside their office to be building things out, when really you can automate it. I think the best thing is having that content strategy, having your social strategy, having your profit and loss reports. The minute that you guys start doing this, there's no excuses. You guys can get everything done for your business. And this is the moment when you can execute rapidly by using AI. Emily, I know that there's some chats going on. I can't see them in presentation mode. I don't know if you want to go through them really fast before I continue.
Sure. One of our friends, Karina, says she named her chat GPT Gary. I do think it performs better when you're nicer to it, and give it some feedback of what you like, don't like. Natasha says they don't have their plan yet, but they have our budget. She would love a non-chat GPT example. She does love chat GPT for socials and blogs, though.
So I would say if you're not utilizing AI, it's going to take a long time to get through that. So that's where it gets a little difficult. There's Gemini, but they're another chat-based company. Perplexity is chat as well. So they use different. The way that a learning model is it has this knowledge in the back. We use chat because it will provide our knowledge when we use a paid account to be secure, and that's something that we love. So we make a secure account, we pay for it, we have all of our users in there, and we're all talking to it, and we're feeding information about us, and it's building that out. Gemini does something very similar, but they don't talk to each other. When you use the free paid version of any of these platforms, and I'm going to urge you guys, when you guys use the free platforms and you're putting information about your business into that, you guys are teaching the entire learning model your business. So anybody, like if say I went in and I wanted to, I see a logo, so I'm just going to type this one out. Pink collars. If I went in there and I typed in information, I was like, can you teach me about pink collars? If you guys are using the free version, it's going to give me all of that information about your company. That's why it's very important to make sure that you guys are using a paid platform, because it keeps that private, secure. When you're trying to do these things that take a lot of time and you don't want to utilize AI, what's going to happen is you're going to be spending that time diving into that numbers, like kind of what Emily was saying, diving into that data where you can't really see it and you need that extra eyes to help you. Now, with the social media calendar that keeps repeating itself, oh, sorry, it's very autoplayed. This is going to create a 12-month social calendar that will include rebates for your local market. You can have call to actions in there. You can have it cross-sell other products for you. You can have it include the weather, seasonal changes for your current market. You can also have it include your tonality, your voice, your brand persona, your branding, anything in there. You can have backlinks to other pages in your website. You can have it direct to call to actions in your website, your entire year's worth of social media content, and you can have it prepared in less than 3 minutes, recycled and used in 5 different languages. That's a really cool thing about chat is you can have it, put it into Spanish, German, French, whatever languages you want it to have, and build that in. I know.
Hey,
Yep.
Jasmine, Grace has a question. She's asking, so any info that we put into the free chat is available to any other company. Could you re-explain this briefly?
Yes, definitely. So with the large, it's called a large learning model. What it does is there's two different versions. There's a free version that exists. Anybody can use it. You don't want to put your company information into that. You are training it when you put that into the free model. So basically, if I took my profit and loss statement, threw it into a free version, now it has all of that information stored. So, when you go to Google and you type in a question, Gemini pops up. These all communicate to each other based on the free version. It's learning from the internet. It's learning from the things that people are putting into it. When you have the paid version, everything that goes into the paid version is now training your learning model. So not the free version, not the things that are published on the internet, not everything that exists out there. It's your language model. So now you're training your company, your team, your data. Do you need me to dive into that a little bit more?
She says she got it. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So as you get that paid version, not the free version, as you get the paid version for any of these, Perplexity, Gemini, Claude, any of them, you can then dive in with your marketing reports, with your analytics, with your profit and loss, your balance sheet. You can drop everything in there, kind of like what Emily was saying, and find those little tweaks that you guys can adjust, where you're overspending, where you're underspending. You can analyze where maybe you have some adjustments you can make. It's not that you're spending or underspending, but they see things that you can improve on. It all does that. And then you can have your teams go in there and utilize what they're doing, their jobs, the stuff that they have to take on. And it will take your information that you already put in there, all of that stuff, and help them build their responses, analyze their reports. You never
We
have to go ahead.
I'm sorry. We've had it where we've uploaded some of our, and we're on the paid version, so we can do this a little bit more, helping our company, not other companies too much, but taking some of our reports and things like that, but then saying like, hey, generate this into a graph or some type of bar chart, like re-illustrate this to me so that it can do some of the legwork to translate some of this information into more visual representation to share with some of our other team members. They all learn in different ways. And so being able to have a quick resource without having to have a graphic designer go interpret this stuff and remock it up, it can analyze the data for you and then generate out, you know, a grid with your brand colors, things like that. It's, pretty crazy what it can do, but it's just a tool and a resource to help you do things so much faster.
Well, not only that, I think the biggest thing that most people don't see is all of these other big companies, Amazon, Google, all of these companies, they're really investing in AI. It is something that's really big on the market right now. We see it if you're in all of these groups for the trades, you see call centers, you see having someone listen in and it's an AI bot to your technicians and teaching them what they can be doing. All of these other professional agencies in the United States and really the entire world is going through this process. They're becoming more efficient at work. They're becoming more efficient at home. I build meal plans with AI because I don't have a lot of minutes to do this. I will build out an entire skincare routine with AI because it tells me what to do. This is everyone's trying to be more efficient. They're trying to take back their minutes to spend with their families. For me, I love reading, to read books, to play games, to do other things. They're putting their workouts in there. They're using it for every aspect of their life and they're budgeting. They're doing their research. So for me, for someone that's utilizing it for everything else, I'm also utilizing it to look at what I can be doing, to research companies that I can work with, to give me more information. Heck, that bio that Emily read, our communications used chat with it. She took all the information about me, put it in there, and said, spit something out. You can do it with your guys' Google My Business accounts, with your blogs, anything that you guys utilize in your current company, do it, anything in your personal life. Now, with bigger companies, they have a lot more data, which is called unique data. They're putting that into chat and they're asking chat to give them big data sets, analyze it for them. They're coding inside of chat. So the really cool thing about chat is it does custom code and they'll code into it. You can build games inside of this platform. I don't know if Perplexity can do it because really it just tells me what I should be shopping for. Claude, I use it to make me sound more friendly. So sometimes we're all going, and I have to write a big email out to my team. I will use it to make me sound nicer. And I also say please and thank you every single time because I want to make sure that if they ever take over the world, they know that I was very sweet to them. So I use it for that aspect. And I say this all because customers are now realizing that by using AI to find their service providers, to analyze the quote that we send them, to analyze and compare the different benefits from each system, to analyze if they should have a ductless system, a heatless system, if they should replace their air handler, whatever it is that they're doing, they're now utilizing chat to analyze that for them because they don't understand this information. I always, when I'm talking to my customers, they're like, you do what you do and I do what I do. I don't know what you do and you can't do what I do, but I can help chat utilize what I'm trying to say or what I'm doing to put it into words that make sense for someone to follow along, to analyze that data that makes sense to them, to go to the things that are most important for them. And with that, we see that ChatGPT, at least, they released a search feature. It's something that's about a month old now. In the first 10 days, it received as many users as Bing has in an entire year, which is a lot. So whether they're looking at chat now or if they're diving into it, 30% of that search from AI is going away from Google. They're no longer going to Google. And with that, in 2008, my CEO, Jennifer Bagley, she's been speaking events, doing all of that. That's when we really first moved into the home service agency. I was working in home service. They were moving into home service. And she was speaking at a dealer meeting. And that's when she realized that a lot of our industry is behind when it comes to other areas. So we know tech is far few in between, but we see like Amazon, ecom, they're more advanced than the HVAC world, the plumbing world, the solar world. And she was standing on stage and she was telling everyone in this group, what do you do when you need something? They Google it. And when you Google it, do you click on the ads? There's probably like 3 people that say they click on the ads. They say, no, we go down to the maps, we go down to the search. And when you go down to there, you find a provider on Google. And when you go through that, if the site looks like a DIY site, do you bounce off of it? Yes, they don't trust it. You go back. When the site doesn't have any reviews that you can look at, do you call them? I don't, because I look at the reviews, I look at the images, I go back. When you go through this, if you know how you search, why aren't you putting yourself into that position for your consumers to find you? And we all know that we are still saying the same things here in 2024. But the biggest difference in 2024 is now the organic game is changing. Traditional search is changing. It's a super competitive market to be in. It can take anywhere from 12 months to 24 months to come up in these big competition searches or these highly dense populations. Getting ranked for AC repair in Los Angeles, California is extremely hard unless you have a strong website, you have good content, you have strong backlinks. We know that. So when it comes to organic search, how do we make a change? What do we go through when it's so saturated? With chat search now, as you can see, you can get ranked for these things here now. And it doesn't have paid ads. It doesn't have LSA. It doesn't care about your reviews. It doesn't care about your local directories. And this is what that shift is having. We have a huge technology shift going into 2025. We see it at the end of 2024. So for the first time since 2008, we have the ability to compete in an AI search engine and be one of 3 instead of one of 30, instead of one of 10, instead of one of 20. We have the option to search in your local market and be very specific about what you want. And that is huge. I'm so sorry, Emily, were you going to add something?
No, but I'm just, I do think marketing is about to get wild. I think so many companies have spent so long trying to figure out how do I optimize for Google, and they've kind of figured out the Google ads and optimizing for LSA and trying to figure out like their spend and all these different places and stuff. And I think a lot of companies have just kind of gotten it figured out, but it's about to change and get wild, if you will, but in a fun and exciting way, in a way that can be, I want to say almost like a fresh start for some companies. Like maybe if you've always been beaten down, or like if you are a smaller company that's always just outspent by larger companies in your area, you're saying this could be some way to kind of level up the playing field a little bit, right?
Exactly. So, and that's what in this short period of time that we have, you can now invest in your website to becoming a little bit more AI enabled. And this is stuff that you guys can do. That's why I want to make sure everything that you're taking out of this is stuff that you guys can implement across any industry, making sure that your website is customer consumer question driven. So by enabling AI for your website, using chat, going through your content, you can answer consumer questions, having a customer first approach in everything that you're doing to drive new business. The reality is, when you're a larger company, you have more eyes on you. You guys have stronger reviews. You're probably going into paid ads, local service ads. You're focused on that. Exactly what Emily's saying. You're trying to focus on that Google search, that Google playing field, because that's what business has been in. You're participating in local directories, which is all still very important. But as we start to see this shift, you're going to see a whole group of people that are looking for businesses that are going to shift their focus. And when you're doing that, you want to be more efficient. They want to be more efficient. You guys both want the same thing. You want to get that added value. So for me, I use chat all the time. I use it on 2 different devices. I have my PC and I have my laptop. I have my cell phone. I don't use it there. My cell phone's all for personal stuff, but we use it in all these different places. You have some people that don't. Like, I know a lot of people, when you're scrolling through TikTok, they use it in every aspect of their life, every single one. And when you do that, chat starts to learn, hey, you like me. We're friends. And it pops up this little bar, install chat search. Install ChatGPT on your phone. And you know what happens when they do that? Google goes away. It is so hard to find Google again. It just brings you to ChatGPT. And now, while this is a huge opportunity, this is the first time in technology that we're seeing this shift away from Google. When we're seeing these bigger companies, even us, like, we're really having to shift the way that we market ourselves, because all of these large places that are big on Google, they may not be big in chat search because they're advertising 2 different things. Chat is really about questions, customer facing things. What do the consumers want? They want to answer the question. Google, content is king. If you have the right content, the right keywords, you're going to rank. Now you have the paid ads, the LSA, all of that. Again, chat doesn't have that. I will say, and I'm speaking ahead of myself, chat did release a statement that they're going to look into it, look into ads. There's nothing really concrete, heavy on it, but they're going to look at it. Do I think that that's going to happen soon? No, but maybe Q4, maybe 2026. Like, wait, what year are we going into?
Yeah.
But that's something, again, to make sure that you're staying on top of AI. You're staying on top of how our industry is changing. Yes, Emily?
Jazmin, so Natalie's asking, how do you actually get listed in AI search?
Customer driven content.
So there's not a way for you to necessarily be able to control
One,
it or contribute to
nope.
it.
It's all content. Content is still king in this market. But with chat, with that learning model, they want to answer questions. So when you go to chat, you're asking it to do something for you. You're asking it to perform a task. You're asking it to answer something. You're asking it to find something, analyze something. Everything has to be customer facing, because that's what customers are doing. They're asking it to do something. Find me what's the best ductless and heat pump HVAC company in Los Angeles, California. You can even misspell it. I am really bad at spelling. And it will search who has that content, who's saying that they're this person, who's promoting this. You can ask it to find a Trane dealer, a Daikin dealer. You can ask it to identify this equipment. If your content on your website is customer facing, customer driven, chat's going to pick it up.
So Sherry just asked her chat for the top 5 HVAC companies in her area, and she ranked number 4. Is there a way she can get ranked number 1? Could she try to train it and tell it that she's number 1, educate it
Nope.
that way?
You can't educate, and that is a really smart question. You can't educate it that way. But what you can do is go to your content and rewrite it. Consumers are very, how do I say this nicely? We're selfish. We are. We only care about us. And a lot of the websites out here care about you, the business, what makes us good, what makes us different, what we do, how long we've been in business, all of this. That's kind of what it does. But with AI, it's about the consumer. And that's what we're actually going to dive right into that next. So with AI, it's utilizing translation, making sure that you're able to be accessible across different environments. So the first thing we have to do is level up your game. And what I mean by that is really honing into AI. If everyone in your business, if you guys are wanting to be found in chat, if you're wanting to be found on Google and you're wanting to use AI, the owner has to do it. Everyone in that organization has to do that. We made this big shift with our company in the last 6 months when chat really started to kind of come out. Are we going to dive into it? Or are we going to back away? And our CEO led that charge, said, no, we're diving in headfirst. This is we're seeing how pivotal this is going to be. We were saying it at events. We were saying it on social media. This is going to be that big change that we see. You guys have to dive in first. Your CSRs have to dive in. Dispatchers have to dive in. Call centers have to dive in. Everyone has to dive in. And when you're leading that charge, your company is going to follow because they're going to follow what you guys are doing. They're looking to you for guidance. They're looking to you. Like, I know for me, if I was like, no, sorry, I'm not going to do this, my team would be like, she's not doing it. Why do I have to do it? That's how you guys have to take this. If you want to have it done, you have to do it. So utilizing that customer-based, customer-driven content. Ask the question. How many of you guys have FAQs on your website? If you guys have FAQs, you're asking questions. How much does this cost? What's this? What does that do? What do I get from this? If you're utilizing that, chat's going to pick that up because it's a question with an answer. You're asking the question, you're answering it. So focusing on that, that's how you get that higher ranking. That's how you get them to really utilize your company as being that leader.
So are there some ways that you can, like, the FAQ sounds like a great way to kind of optimize some content for it. But Grace said that, she did a search and she found her company. But where there should be an image, there was no image. There was just, a blank white picture. Is there a way to fix that? Or like, is there a way to know where chat is pulling that specific blank image from or lack thereof?
Yes, definitely. So every page of your website it's called an alt image. So depending on if you guys get into the back of your website, I don't expect you guys to have that, or going to your company that does it. Every single page, every single one has an image that you can put as a featured image. That image, you can tag it. I suggest put it into chat. Give me an alt tag for this. And then every search engine, AI, Google, Bing, will then be able to read that and place that image in that spot. So that's just your featured image that's showing that blank one. And most of the time people put logos, like if you're on a heating page, they'll put like a heating image. Make sure you try and utilize your images. I think that's kind of the biggest part is when you have stock images, people tend to just bypass them. If you don't have an image for it, put your logo on there. That's okay too. Just make sure that you have that alt text. If you don't have the alt text, which I don't even know what alt means. I just know that my SEO team says I have to have something there. No matter what it is, it's a description. It has to be there.
It's alternative text, right?
I don't know.
That's what I've always assumed it was. Yeah.
I'm like, that is so I never knew what it was. And I asked someone and they're just like, just put something there. Just have an image, put a description.
Well, and instead of naming it, IMG 0321, you should put, like Los Angeles Heating and Cooling, ABAC company, something probably like that versus image 8321.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Name your files. So in the back end of every single website, you guys have a media section. This media will host every single image that is on your website, whether it's an icon, whether it's like this cute little cutout that you guys have, whatever it is, it will always be in the back end of that. And you guys can go and rename everything. You guys can go make sure that every single thing has some form of description on it too. And then if you go through, I know with WordPress is a platform that a lot of people are in. There's also Wix. I think Squarespace got rid of theirs. I'm not 100% sure. There's all these different websites that you guys can use. GoDaddy has websites. Each platform is kind of different. But the way that they interact is very, very similar with Google. WordPress is the leading one that we see right now. I'm going to burst a lot of bubbles here that there is an AI website now that you guys can utilize. It's an app-based website, which is a lot of the stuff that you see right here on the screen. An AI-enabled website allows you to use other AI technologies to be able to advance your guys' website. So that's what I'm saying. When you guys have to dive into AI, that is going to change your marketing. Do your research. Don't just dive in with anyone and go through it. Do your research. But make sure that one, before you do any of this stuff that we're about to talk about next on what you can do, your content is AI driven. By AI driven, I mean your content is focused towards your customers, answering questions. FAQs are on all of your pages. You guys have alt text on your images. You have an image attached to every single page you're doing, and you're driving that. Once you have all of that, then you want to look at how can I advance more? What can I do? And with that, you want to build out translations. I know a lot of people, at least the people that I work with, some of them are in Canada and they want to focus on French pages. So AI translation. It will fully, and I'm not talking about Google translation. There is AI translation within chat that you can translate all of your content to whatever language you want, which is cool. I learn new languages all the time. Do I know what they mean? No, but I'm learning them as I'm reading this content, making sure that every language that you have your consumers in. So I know I'm in California. We have a lot of people out here that speak Spanish. We have a lot of people out here that speak Vietnamese. We have French. We have a bunch of mixed kind of different people. And making sure that if you're in a market that has those consumers, that you can also speak to them, because that makes them feel important. That makes them feel valued by your company. And when they have that value, they're going to want to do business with you. I see some chats. Emily, do you want to?
Yeah, Kimberly was explaining that the alt image is for the vision impaired people. And then just some AI note takers. So no more questions just yet.
See, we learn something new every day. If you're not learning something new, you're not growing. I love learning things. That's what I dive into all of this. So you also have the ability to have AI assistant. This gives you the ability to build faster, be better, be more predictive, get more information back from your platform to be able to compete. AI analytics, this is very different. So this is going to those AI websites. They have analytics in the back end of their websites that allows them to see data, how people are truly engaging with their websites. So this is something that's really big. And this is how, what I'm saying, you can get your Google file and throw it in there as long as you have access to, I think it's GA4 that people are using right now. Throw that in there and be able to interact with it. Now, as you move into AI websites, you're going to see very different things. And I would say I urge you guys to look at that for 2025, even if it's the end of 2025. Because as we see this technology shift, you want to be ahead of the game versus behind and waiting. And that, I mean, that goes for people that are in Wix sites. Wix sites, those are probably the back end, which we see a lot of people moving to WordPress, which Google prefers. So kind of diving into that. Analytics.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
So, with these AI websites, like I'm guessing from what you're telling us here, like that's a little bit more, you tell it what you want and it generates it for you. So like, does that remove the need to have a digital agency, like a company that does your website for you? Or is it more like to have this conversation with your digital agency, like, hey, how can we optimize our current website to an AI site or change it to an AI site? Like, how do you think that conversation goes and the need to still have a partnership, or is it shifting away to like doing everything all yourself, but through AI?
No, so you would still need a partnership. So it's working with your guys' company to say, are you guys moving into that AI environment? An AI website, I'll kind of dive into it. It's a low code platform. Majority of us use our phones for searching for things. I mean, I use my phone for TikTok. I like my desktop, but majority of people do. And we can't think of how do I do it, but it's how is the majority of the population doing it. An AI website is built on a low code platform. So it's a very app like, it's very fast, it's very sleek. So you still need an agency to do this, but what it allows is it allows the analytics to then look at your website to see how people are interacting. Once you get, I think it's like 22,000 page views. I think that's what I was reading. It allows AI CRO, which is basically conversion rate optimization. It's the way that people interact with your website. Once that is done, you guys have the ability to shift your website through multiple variations at the same time. You can literally have right here 1, 2 original. So you can be testing things, seeing how things work. You can redesign your website in a matter of seconds to produce higher conversions, and it will do it all on its own. That's why I'm saying these websites, talk to your guys' marketing teams. If you guys have it in house, talk to the person that does that, making sure that they're staying ahead of the game to drive you guys into that place you want to be in 2025. Now, it's going to build a higher dollar. You're going to be able to increase your conversion rate by 50% from what I'm reading and seeing and going through that market. And now that your dollar is worth more, you're going to be making more. I know I've seen like 4 comments pop in. I don't know if they're AI or what they are.
It's those more AI notes saying they're not talking back. But they're gonna pop out. But no, I mean, yeah, even just like in these chats, utilizing AI to take notes for you if you don't have the ability to hop onto a meeting, like give me the condensed highlights of it and stuff. We got some AI integrations happening in some places, even if we're not full on the websites just yet.
Well, not only that, when you do that, even just the content, when you do just little pieces of it and you start moving in that direction, guess what? Google ranks you faster. So even if you're not ready to move into the chat search, Google is still rewarding you for this. You're ranking faster, you're getting more visibility, your websites are loading faster. It's more about the user experience than it is for the actual company base. And in this moment, when you have hundreds of thousands of pages on your website, just like what we were talking about earlier, that are driven towards you, your business, your story, your brand, the more you're going to have that bounce rate, the more people are going to jump off. Like I said, people are selfish. They want to know what you're going to do for them. Looking at your website, what can you change to make it more customer facing? Do you guys have promotions? Do you guys have financing? I know we're not all HVAC, we're some from other industries, but do you guys have the things that people are wanting to be able to do business with you? Like, I know for us, a lot of our stuff we do end of year specials. We suck at marketing ourselves. But are you guys putting those at the front? I mean, everyone knows that you're really bad at working on your business. You're good at working on other people's business. But are you guys putting those in the front? Are people seeing it immediately? Are you open 24/7? And if you're not, I'm going to show you something really, really cool. But are you open 24/7? Are you guys booking people online? Are you guys having a chat bot for people to talk to? Are you guys doing all of these things that are customer facing? These are things you can do in the same environment you have right now, which is making modifications and tweaks.
Janine says that she launched AI for recruitment and pre-screening applications. It saved her hours and days worth of time for doing all that pre-screening.
See, just little things, just little tweaks. That's what I'm having my team right now at the end of this year, my internal team. I asked them, take your job, look at it for the next 3 days. What are you doing that is wasting your time? What are you doing that's time suckers? What are you doing that you want to automate? And there's so many integrations that you can utilize in your own business, just outside of AI too. Things that you can do that's going to take all of those minutes back to you to make money, to grow your business, to spend time with your kids, to go and hang out with your friends. Just different things that people like to do, but you can't because you have all of this time that has to be wasted on this. Consumers want to have that feature. Everyone, I mean, I really have a thing against DoorDash. My husband loves it, but majority of the population loves DoorDash. They love Uber. They want to be able to book a pizza, have it come to their door. They want to be able to buy all of their groceries and never have to leave their house. It saves them money. It's something that's going to give them time back. So making sure that we're putting ourselves in the positions to do that. Now I'm going to do something really fun. I know this has audio, but this number that's about to pop up, I want you guys all to call it or write it down and call it later. Put your thinking hat on. So it's 928-800-0045.
We should actually call it.
Yeah, call it. I'm gonna pause it. Call it. Act. Put your homeowner hat on. Just act like you're a homeowner. So all of these people that are calling it, you've all been answered within the first 30 seconds. It picked up, it said hello, it was very sweet, it was very nice. Now, when I talk to people, their biggest thing is, I want to talk to a human. Is that just your perspective, or do people really want to talk to humans? Some do. There's some people I'm like, y'all need to be nicer when you answer the phone. Be sweet. Say hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. You need to have that. Some people do want that. I love talking to people, but I also like to get things done really, really fast because I have to go, 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 go. So when you're going through this, again, take your perspective out. What do your consumers want? They want it easy, they want it fast, they want it simple. And as you're going through this, you're going to see that they're not getting frustrated with the AI. The AI is collecting the data, they're setting your appointments, and it's not going to fully set your appointments. You do have to transfer it over to someone to actually book it, but it's making it very easy. It's fast. They're getting their questions answered. They're not getting the dial tone. They're not getting, hello, 1 second, I have a call ahead of you. They're getting someone on there to help them with their problem. So they're not bouncing to the next person. And this goes for every single business. They're offering maintenance plans. They're offering benefits of why you should be moving to a heat pump depending on where you're located. They're offering different things like financing options. They're getting better training based on the knowledge that your CSRs are already giving them. This does not replace your CSRs. This just allows them to be more efficient and book more calls. But your customers feel heard, they feel supported, and they feel confident in the solutions that the AI is giving them because the AI is trained by your company. They're never having a bad day. They're never sick. You're never having to worry, hey, if I have 50 calls coming in, are they getting answered? I was a CSR. I know how overwhelming that can be when the phone is ringing in the dead of summer and it's hot, your customers are hot, I'm getting yelled at. It's a lot. Having something that's going to be super nice and get them that booking, get them that person, get them that help is what your customers want. So as you guys
And I
all
think
would go ahead.
to have both of the options, to have the real human for the people that prefer that, but then also the people that prefer, let me just get it done. I don't need all the frivolous chit chat back and forth, the AI option. So when you have both, people like to be talked to in different ways and communicated to in different ways and stuff. So versus trying to force it up, this is how we've always done it, this is how we're going to do it, embracing and kind of doing both, you'll be able to attract more customers because you'll be able to meet different needs that different people have.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. AI is not going to replace your team. And I don't want you guys to have that mindset. AI is going to help enable your team to feel less stressed, to be kinder, and to book your appointments. You still need that human interaction because you're going to have those people like my grandma. Oh, she yells. We have a Carl's Jr. I don't know if all y'all have a Carl's Jr., but we have a Carl's Jr. and it only uses AI to take your orders. She yells at this thing every single time. So she wants that human interaction. And guess what? That's going to be normal. But then you have my husband who's like, I hate talking to people. I hate ordering for a bunch of people. I want to make this super fast. He comes in bragging. It took my order correct. And then I go there and messes up my entire order. You're going to have those people, but giving them the option because the AI can book 24/7. The AI can take calls on the weekends. The AI can also transfer to a live person. So don't make the decision for your customers based off of what we think, because I would be a little bit different. I'm a little bit biased. I want to have a human when I'm ordering my food. But that doesn't mean everyone does, because then you have my husband who doesn't ever want to talk to people ever again. He just wants to work with AI and he's great with it. So giving them those options, because when your competitor down the street, and this goes for all of us, we all have competition. When they are utilizing AI for these things that we're holding back on or putting our feet in the sand for, we're going to be kicking our butts when we see that they're ranking, when we see that they're doing this, when they're booking more calls, when they're busy. because we decided that we didn't want to move forward with that. And it's going to be a huge challenge for us if we're not moving with the future. The biggest thing, I just came off a whole SEO conference a week and a half ago, I think, sometime right before Thanksgiving. I don't know, time is weird right now, but right before Thanksgiving. And the biggest thing, the banner that they had is we either evolve or we die. And I know that's strong, but if we don't evolve with technology, our businesses could very well die. So
And that's what
I have
Lauren
my,
is saying. Oh, she saw a
oh, go
post that said
ahead.
AI will replace humans, but humans who use AI will replace humans who don't.
Yes.
And I think that very much agrees. I saw something early on, is like, think about when we introduced the calculator. And people are like, oh my gosh, people aren't going to know how to do math anymore. Well, no, in reality, the calculator was a tool to where we're able to do even greater math. And like we're able to send people to the moon a lot easier with these calculations in a calculator than if we were to manually write it out on paper and possibly have an error in that way and stuff. So by embracing a tool, you can do even more and better, with that.
Well, not only that, I will say, like, even with computers, we would never be able to have these conversations if we didn't evolve with computers. And this is huge. Like,
Mhm.
look at the community that we're building with all of these people being able to connect with each other right here because of the computer. And that was a big thing. People didn't want to have a computer. It's the next technology that's going to move us in. And I had my contact up there a little bit. If you guys want to get in touch and talk to me about I love talking about technology. It's my biggest fun thing to do because I have no fun people to talk to besides my team. So you guys are more than welcome to rack my brain. As Emily said, I have a ball of knowledge in here, but make sure that you guys are setting that forefront for your company to evolve.
For sure. So much information in here. Thank you, Jasmine. We had so many different questions and comments coming in from so many of our Lady Titans in here. So I know you've got all their brains spinning. So, guys, yes, this was recorded. We will be posting this to our YouTube channel along with all of our other Spotlight Series speakers. So you can go back if you ever miss an episode, go back and watch, because every month we try to bring fun and different things, all that we can pour into and bring value to you guys. So, Jasmine, thank you so much. She said she would also share her pitch deck with us. So we will email that out also with this recording. And then Jasmine, would you mind if we linked your contact information in that email? Just like you said, they
Yeah,
could reach out to you.
go
Awesome.
ahead. You guys are more than welcome to reach out to me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. This is our last little series, little thing of 2024. I'll see you guys next year. I know everyone loves that little fun joke there, but it's true. We'll be back in 2025. So thank you all so much for joining. Have a safe, happy holidays. Keep cranking it out in 2024 with a bang, and we will see you guys in 2025. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Lady
Thank you
Titans.
guys.
Y'all
Bye.
later.